Guys, it is happening again. Our van keeps breaking. Just as we make it back across to the west coast to continue our Wild Atlantic Way adventure, it all goes wrong and we kind of end up a little bit stuck in the water. But yeah, so I don't know what we're gonna do about battery. Anyway, before all that, you join us this week as we explore some local history around Dingle, meet the friendly locals, and drive one of our toughest roads yet. Proper sketchy. So if you're new around here and want to join the gang, hit subscribe and let's check back in for another week of van life adventures in Ireland. Good morning everyone and welcome to a very up and down Wild Atlantic Way. This has pretty much just been the weather that we've been faced with for the past 2 weeks now. Honestly, the weather app is saying that it's supposed to be nothing but blue skies and sunshine all day, but I just got woken up to like a downpour of rain and already it's looking like it's clearing. It's like blue skies. It's just so difficult these days to actually try and decide on whether it's going to be dry or whether it's going to rain all day. I don't know what's going on. But basically, since we last spoke to you guys, we've driven from Dublin all the way across back to Dingle, and hopefully the weather is going to pick up over the next couple of weeks and we actually get to finish off our Wild Atlantic Way road trip in style. We've got a lot of sights to see around the Dingle Peninsula. Our first one, just over there. We're just waiting for it to open. We slept in the car park last night. And yeah, I'm just so happy to be back out into like the kind of, I guess, nature again. Like Dublin was really good fun, but just being in the city in a big motorhome was so stressful for the past week, so it's nice to be back out into the kind of more quiet park-ups again. And over there is Sleeping Beauty. You wanna give us a wave?
Hi.
Hiya.
Why am I so tired this morning?
Yeah, I'm knackered as well. I've actually been awake since 6 AM because I couldn't sleep. As you can probably tell, I'm loaded with the cold. I don't know what's going on. Even my body thinks it's the middle of winter because of what's going on with the weather. I'm starting to feel a little bit better though. A little bit of rest has done me good and I'm starting to pick up again. Alright baby, do you want some porridge? Oh yeah, and this is a brand new toy that Gemma brought back from Glasgow. It's a Staresso pocket coffee machine. Basically you put a little capsule or coffee granules in there, boiled water in there. It takes a lot of effort and is very messy. That's a nice little treat. What is that hanging from there? Is that mistletoe?
Oh!
Are you trying to get me to kiss you? Is that the length you'll go through to... Ew. Give me a kiss under the mistletoe. You're looking like a fashionista this morning, I've got to say.
Thank
Do you
you.
want to explain what's going on here? Give us a spin.
One of my top tips when you're feeling kind of like tired and sluggish, I swear my body is trying to fight off what Campbell's got right now because I am so tired in the morning. So this morning I was like, no, I'm gonna put on a bit of mascara, put my curlers in my hair, put on my favourite perfume, and it just kind of like gives me that like, I guess a little bit of a boost of energy. Like I feel like I'm actually getting up for something and I feel like a bit more like ready for the day. Here we go. And we're planning on going out for dinner tonight. I do not think these are gonna last, especially as we have something else planned first. I thought, why not? Makes me feel a bit more alive. Ready? Let's go! We are visiting Gallerus Oratory, which is a stone building about 1300 years old. It is the perfect specimen of dry rubble masonry and is situated at the southeastern corner of the Smerwick Harbour on the Dingle Peninsula.
Wow, top of your head.
Oh yeah! So it says this building is rectangular and is approximately 8 metres long by 5 metres wide and 5 metres high. The roof is formed by the gradual rise of the side walls from the base upwards.
Yeah, it looks really interesting. We actually just went in and watched a little kind of introductory video which told you a bit more about the history of the place. And apparently it's like over 1,000 years old and it used to be an old church. It's quite similar actually to the buildings that you can find on like Skellig Michael, but this is like a much smaller version of it, but it still looks so cool. Am I gonna fit in? No birds in here, is there? What a cool place, eh?
I know, it's tiny.
So quiet as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were told in that presentation apparently it's east and west facing because then it's like you catch the early morning sunshine in the east and the evening sunshine in the west. But I just cannot believe that this was built like thousands of years ago.
Still waterproof, still standing, survived all the storms, all the wind.
That's so crazy. So it was €4 per person to actually get into here, but given it is private land and it is one of like the best examples of a perfectly preserved ancient church, €4 with a little bit of information and a little bit of a film to watch as you go in is not actually that bad value.
I have to say I didn't actually know that existed before not too long ago, and now I've got to see it and learn all about it.
What a start to the day.
And I got to do it with my tracking curls and plates. There you go.
50 cents an hour to park the van. That's not too shabby.
Dingle is such a cute little town. Like, there's so many small independent little local shops, loads of bars and restaurants and cafes, and it seems that there's live music on here like most nights of the week. There's a lot of places we've passed already that are just saying live traditional music on tonight. So I think tonight we are going to come into Dingle and find somewhere to have some dinner, because it seems like it's going to be one of those places with a good little atmosphere in the evening.
What do you think? It'll help my throat.
I think it will. I think we need to for medicine purposes.
Okay.
I don't really know why I'm getting one, but I'm getting it as a preventative measure. So we went to Cool Scoops in Dingle, and I only wanted one scoop, but the girl said to me, well, if you only want one scoop but I want to try more than one flavour, she said I'll give you half of each scoop. So I have a random combination of mint chocolate chip and Nutella, but it tastes so good.
Yeah, I'm really boring with ice cream, so I just got a whippy. It's fantastic. Good for the medicine. Now, the reason that we've decided to come back to Dingle is we're actually on the hunt for a little local celebrity. And there he is.
That is Fungi, who is a dolphin that was regularly spotted on the sea safaris here in Dingle, and is actually why Dingle became so famous. Unfortunately, they don't think he's around anymore, but we are going to go out on a wildlife sea spotting safari this evening and see what we can see. Hopefully we're going to see plenty more animals just like Fungi.
We actually just went and checked in, and they told us that today they've already seen minke whales, common dolphins, bottlenose dolphins, and a lot of seals. So fingers crossed we can actually get to see some as well. Now, the only problem is I just was talking about how warm it is. It's really, really muggy here, and I was wearing jeans and a t-shirt, and we've just arrived and they've told us that they're going to be putting us into this. We are going to melt, aren't we?
I know, jackets and waterproof trousers. You should have put shorts on.
I really should have done that. You excited?
I'm actually really buzzing.
The tour took us on a coastal path along the Slea Head Peninsula and provided us with a unique and fascinating perspective of the rugged and dramatic sea cliffs that make this part of Ireland so famous. As we sailed along, soaking up the fresh air, our tour guide explained to us all about the history of the region, how its landscape was formed, and even what we should be looking out for if we wanted to see wildlife.
Sounds like they're like going, because it's cold, doesn't it?
Yeah, every time the wave hits them you can hear them screaming. Must be about 40 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's so cool.
As the tour continued out to the Blasket Islands, the landscape became more and more breathtaking as we sat in our small boat in awe at the magnificent natural structures that jutted straight up from the Atlantic Ocean, carved from the millennia of the wild storms that gave this coastal route its name. It was a fascinating tour and well worth the money, made even better value by the friendly locals that decided to accompany us on our ride back into Dingle.
Now, is that windswept or is that windswept? What is that all about,
I'm
man?
finding it a little bit hilarious that we were like, you should have worn shorts, and now we're like, like the wind on the way back was just like beating us in the face, wasn't it?
I'm so cold. So cold. Home sweet home. I'm exhausted. That's zoomed in. So how did you find that then?
So much fun. Honestly, so good. And see, the seals, like they were all, you could like hear them making all the noises on the beach, and then the dolphins were just like playing around our boat. I kept my eyes out for whales the whole time, and honestly it makes you realise how lucky you are when you do get to see something like that, because you're just not guaranteed it. Couldn't see any for 2.5 hours. I scanned everywhere and I couldn't see any, but we saw dolphins, we saw seals, we saw puffin, and we just had a really good time. I feel like I got like blasted with so much fresh air and it felt like really good. So I'm tired now from that, but it was good fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely not sure if 2.5 hours of like freezing cold sea air was what was best for me, because on the way back I was frozen. I didn't realise my jacket had a hood, so I was just sitting there, my hair going for half an hour. That was so cool. I'm so glad that we finally got to see dolphins in Ireland. I was quite anxious that we're going to leave Ireland and not see like a single kind of
Marine life.
Yeah, I was going to say crustacean, but that's not it. The crustaceans are like crabs. The word for dolphins or seals, whatever. But yeah, we saw it and I'm very glad, and that was so worth the money. Plans now As I said, I'm exhausted. I think we're just going to overnight in this car park, see how it goes. Lidl's right there. Lidl has pizzas and that oven needs used. So unless we have any midnight kind of kerfuffles, I guess we'll just catch you guys up in the morning.
Good night.
Good morning, gang. So we did actually move last night. We just decided that the first place that we've actually been to in the Dingle Peninsula is possibly a lot better. This isn't the first place. The third place? Anyway, we decided to move to a different overnight spot just because that car park was pretty noisy. And we came down to this beautiful little bay with a stunning sunset location. And this morning, the sun has risen. It is a gorgeous day, which is really good for us because we've got a lot of sights to go and see around the Dingle Peninsula before we head off. And our first stop, we've decided to get up nice and early because it is a pretty impressive and yet slightly terrifying drive.
So narrow.
Oh my god, man. Imagine you did come head to head with a car on this.
I know, I was just thinking, I keep feeling like I'm going to.
Whoa. Okay, now we're getting into it. The thing is, not only does it like really narrow, it also starts to proper wind. So you've got like a massive cliff on one side and then there's a vertical drop on the other side. This is proper sketchy.
And I'm
oh
like
my
so
god.
nervous about like hitting Ellie off one of
I
these
know,
drops
I
and, like,
know.
jutting out.
Oh my god. Oh, hallelujah. We survived. Well done. Good driving. Oh my god. Wow. What about that for a view? I'm glad
dramatic.
you're driving. Oh my god.
Are you?
Like honestly, we saw this road from the boat last night and you could actually just see how dramatic it was from there because it doesn't even actually look as high up from here as it did from the boat. You don't realise how high up you are. But there's some points of it, it's just like a straight drop into the sea.
Literally just there around that bend. I remember we were going, oh my god, look at the waves crashing. I think just round there is where it drops.
Oh my god.
And it's like not much of it, even there actually.
Yeah.
It's just a really low wall.
So this is the section of road that's actually a one-way system. We've kind of hit the other end of it a couple of weeks ago in that vlog. And I can absolutely see why now. Like there's no way you would have two cars passing each other. There's like one passing place here. There was maybe another one like half a mile along the road there. And then it's just vertical drops. Like I thought the Bíleachna in Scotland was dramatic, but that doesn't hold a candle to this. This is like incredible.
So as we've been driving around these pretty sketchy roads in Ireland, it's actually been making us so grateful to know that we are covered by our pretty top drawer insurance company, Sterling, who have also very kindly sponsored this week's video. Sterling Insurance have actually turned out to be perfect for our lifestyle, and I'm sure the lifestyle of many of you guys as well, as not only do they insure any weird and wonderful van conversions, they also insure for full-time van life, which is something that we've actually struggled to find in the past. Meaning that we have to travel for 9 months and lock Ellie away in storage for 3 months and then come back and our batteries are dead, our heater stopped working, the fuse is blown. But with Sterling we don't need to worry about any of that. We can travel full time in our van and we're just so happy about it. They also cover European travels and have super friendly staff that helped us get it all set up and know that we are covered no matter where we want to go or what we want to do in the world. And if anything happened during that time, we know that we would be safe. So if you guys want to check out Sterling for yourselves, I'll put a little link in the description box. I'll also put a QR code right here. All you need to do is scan it. It will take you right to the website and then you can take it from there.
So we've just finished the road of death and I thought I'd just come over here and show you this little signpost that we saw last time. Like I said, we visited this part. To be honest, we kind of did skip it a little bit. We probably should have turned around quicker than we did, but we wanted to get to a beach over there and then we hit an actual roadblock where it said like no entry, because this sign just doesn't really do justice as to how dangerous that road actually is. Like this is the sign that kind of tells you to turn around and do a one-way system. Imagine doing 30 miles an hour, driving past that. You're never going to be able to read it. Like you would need to actually like stop and have a proper jaunt at this thing to actually get the gist of it. I just love that. To make this trip pleasant for all. As in, if you don't want to die, please follow this signpost. That would be rather pleasant, wouldn't it? just see Gemma's reaction when she spies this beauty.
Oh,
How did I know you'd do that?
that is so cute.
Love a horse. We've now made it down onto the Cahergill Peninsula and we're actually going to be heading around the Ring of Kerry over the next couple of days. We were just driving along and we saw this signpost for a really cool little site. It says it's something about a stone fort, so we had to come and check it out. I think there's actually two in this area. One unfortunately is completely shut, there's no access to the public, but I believe the other one's just actually a short walk away. And from the road, it looked pretty spectacular. You're looking all summery, babe. Look at that.
That's
A
because
little
the
summer
sun is
dress.
shining.
I know. Are we getting 2 days of summer or what?
I'll be happy if we get one.
I do think that the weather's supposed to turn again tomorrow. It was saying that, like yesterday we did the boat tour and she said to us that today's supposed to be gorgeous, which it is. And then the winds to come in tomorrow and the rain on Friday. So we've enjoyed our 2 days of summer here in Ireland. It has seemed like it's just been nothing but monsoon season the entire time we've been here.
Wow, so we've climbed up a short hill and we've reached this big stone circular building. I'm wondering whether you can get inside of it because I did see some people like sitting up there, so I'm wondering if you can get in and there's maybe some more to explore inside.
It's huge though.
I know.
That must be easily about 10 metres tall.
It's massive, like you could see it from the road driving past, like it's just a huge big, it kind of reminded me of some of the places we visited in Orkney. Just these big old historical stone sites.
Steps are pretty narrow.
Oh, this is a nice wee spot in the sun, isn't it? This place is so cool.
It's like a big massive circle of grass with a wee stony circle in the middle, and then there's just all these like steps leading up to the outside wall of the fort. So you can go all the way up to the top and you can see onto like the mainland bit of Cahergill Peninsula.
And I'm guessing, like, it looks like you can almost, there's like this flat area on the top where you can like walk all around it. And then up there at the tallest point, it looks like almost like they've built in, I would say like a seating area, do you think?
Yeah, kind of.
It looks like they've kind of built in, it's like the ledge lower. Looks like a little seating area. Oh, I think we've just arrived at Ireland's best parkup.
Ireland's best beach. Is it beautiful? It's alright. Is there bins?
Yes, I just saw bins.
Hell
Honestly,
yeah, there's bins.
you won't believe how happy that makes me because we're turning into a bin lorry at this rate, aren't we? There's also a toilet block so we can actually just like use a toilet and not fill up ours.
I think this is a good
And a
park up for
beach,
tonight,
I can
to
hear
be
the
honest.
sea. This is such a pretty spot.
It looks lovely down there.
You don't look very enthused.
I know, I feel ill, but it looks lovely. I'm going to lie in the sunshine for a bit. I'm just buzzing to use these bins. Well, the weather's turned. I don't know what happened. Suddenly, clouds came in and the rain came on. But we do have a little date night planned. There's not much signal. However, we went into the local town just there to pick up some stuff. Gemma's working on a curry, and we do have a good alternative planned instead of actually having signal. What do our date nights usually consist of?
Well, usually we've actually been alternating, so we're like picking a movie each week of what we want to watch. But not tonight. Tonight we're like, I can't be bothered sitting waiting for it to buffer and then pausing every 2 seconds. So we thought, well, there's a little charity shop in town, let's go in and see if they've got any board games. They did have board games. The one that Campbell really wanted to buy was in German. I'd never seen the game before and I was like, that is going to end up that we're like, I don't know how to play it, we're going to try translating it, it's not going to work, and then we're going to be in a position where we can't get rid of it and it just takes up space in the van.
So instead, I'm going to do a little bit of art attack. Can you tell what it is yet? I've always wanted to say that. I'm actually curious to see if any of you guys can guess what it is I'm making. I'll give you a hint, it's 15 tiles by 15 tiles. Let's pause this video here. Go and leave a comment with your guess and see if you can get it right. While I'm doing this, Gemma's getting to work on the dinner. We've picked up a little jar of korma sauce.
I know, I'm not going to lie, I was going to make something at the cookbook, but time was really getting on and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I had a korma for a while. So, we've gone for a jar, but
It is an
never-
indestructible jar. How do you get into that?
I don't know, I've never used one of these before, so I don't.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I got it! So actually maybe making my own curry from scratch would have been easier. So I've spent about 10 minutes now trying to get that off.
Right guys, what do we think? I've even added a little title. Screwball.
Don't want any lawsuits, do I?
So basically we were hunting through the charity shops to try and find like a board game like Scrabble, because it's kind of what we used to love to play during date nights, but we couldn't find any. We went into one hardware store and they said they had a bunch of cardboard boxes out the back, help yourself. We're trying to get rid of them anyway, so I thought, okay, here we go. Let's just make our own game of Scrabble. How hard can it be? We're going to use the cardboard for the board itself, and then I've got tons of like leftover vinyl from when I was doing the van up, so we're just going to use this, cut it up into tiny little squares, and make the Scrabble pieces. Siri, how many tiles are there in a Scrabble board? Doesn't want to read it out. 100. Okay, I did not think this through actually. I went way over my head. Never mind the playing Scrabble, I think our date night is just going to be spent making Scrabble pieces. Now this is a spread. What have we got going in here?
Well, we weren't going all out for date night, so I may not have made my own curry because I was being a little bit lazy, but I have ended up making my own kind of pakora sauce, which then resulted in me needing to make my own mint sauce as well. I have no idea how this is going to taste, and I'm that way that I'm like, do I want to taste it now, because it could be absolutely disgusting. So yeah, that's going well.
Date night.
Here's the date night.
Okay, do you want to bring that masterpiece over here?
Ah, I love that you've made these. That is amazing.
7 tiles each, is it? You
Yep.
hold the bag.
Let's go first. Oh wait, pick one, pick one.
Oh yeah. D.
Oh.
You can tell us guys who's got the worst tiles.
Yes. I want to hear your word combinations. Well, date night came to an unexpected end.
Not that ending even. I was just getting ready for bed and like our battery's been dead low. I thought it was because of the lack of solar recently, but I've just realised that like we've been running our engine to try and get the battery to battery charger to charge up the batteries for about 2 hours now.
Yeah.
And I just checked the app and it's still saying like less than 11 volts, which is bad. And I think I've got a fuse here, which I should be able to reset, but it's like not resettable. I think it's blown the fuse and basically...
That is such loud thunder.
Is that thunder? God, that is like literally right above us. But yeah, so I don't know what we're going to do about battery.
And we're in the middle of nowhere, so that's good. Tomorrow,
Very good.
yeah,
I need to go and try and find a fuse. Alright, night night.
Good night.
Okay, what's going on here? Okay, and so this is the culprit. For some reason, it's a circuit breaker, so I should just be able to reset it if the fuse blows, but it just seems to have like packed in. This is exactly what happened actually when we got back from Australia and our battery wasn't working, except this one was connected to the actual engine battery. I'm not entirely sure why they keep blowing. Cables look intact. The fuse is rated for 60 amps, so I can only guess it's just because they're cheap. And maybe next time I just need to buy a few rather than just one, so I can just switch them out when this happens. The problem we're actually having now is that Amazon doesn't really deliver to Ireland as easily as it is in the UK if you don't have a fixed address. Like I was trying to figure out if I could get it sent to a collection point, like an Amazon locker. So we're going to need to go into the local town, hunt around the hardware stores, see if we can find anything, and then if not, possibly check into a campsite, which isn't ideal because I think the local one costs about €40 a night. Pretty eye-watering. And also that noise you can hear is our backup power generation method, which we're still very, very lucky to have.
Oh, that was a close one.
I know, I had a practice with this, haven't we? For God's sake, almost drove away with it. Our lifeline. I'm sleepwalking today. Look at that. Driving down the side of the road with a battery box hanging open. What is going on?
I blame those thunderstorms last night. Honestly, I don't think I've ever heard a thunderstorm like that in this part of the world. Have you? I feel like in Asia you can kind of like get used to that. I actually thought it hit Ellie. It was like shaking the van. It was like so loud, wasn't it? And it just wasn't stopping.
I don't know if Mercury's in retrograde or if the bad heebie-jeebies are showing today, but everything's going wrong. Look at these cows. Hiya!
They're so cute. I was actually thinking about them last night when it was storming.
Oh, no!
I was, because I thought they
Oh,
must be getting the
bless
van getting
you.
enough right.
Morning, ladies. Hiya!
Oh, they're so beautiful.
Alright guys, the situation is, I think we've found a solution, and I think, yeah, we'll just sign this video off here, and we'll let you guys find out if we get the van fixed in next week's video.
I hope we do. I'm sure we will. Campbell's
Yeah.
a good handyman, but it just all depends on this part.
I know. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video guys, please give it a big thumbs up, just lets us know we're doing the right thing. And if you want to find out if we get Ellie fixed, make sure you tune in next week as we head further around the Ring of Kerry. And yeah, I can't wait to see what we get up to then. So, bye! I don't know, I feel like I'm out of practice. How do we sign this off? See you again in the next one!
See ya!